All right, what's going on, guys? So, we've had a few days since the Seattle victory, and we have a few days left until the Packers take on the 49ers, and I have done what I was hoping I was not going to do, and that is get my hopes up for this game. Um, as a Wisconsin sports fan, I feel like I've been in an unlimited number of situations like this where, you know, it's the big game. It's the game that gets you into the granddaddy of them all, and I get my hopes up so much that my team was going to win this game, and then we lose in the most crushing fashion ever. But you know, here I am once again. I might be an idiot, but you know, it's been hard not to get my hopes up for this game because the Packers, I seriously believe, have a legitimate chance to go into Santa Clara and win this football game. We lost the first time we played these guys 38-7. The more and more I think about that game, the more I realize it was kind of like a snowball effect almost. The Packers had that really, really bad start where they fumbled the ball in the opening drive, and it kind of just built off of that the rest of the game. The 49ers were able to get a solid lead, and, the defense was gassed by the third, fourth quarter, and that was really it. So, I feel like that game was almost an outlier. I'm not trying to discredit what the 49ers did, how good they played in that game, but, the Packers really played horrible. I mean, they just did not do anything right at all. They executed horribly, and, it just kind of all collapsed in on itself, and it was just a bad game, really, in my opinion. Looking at the 5 or 6 games since then, the Packers have certainly done a lot of things a lot better than they did in that game, and they have responded to that game by not losing a game since then. So this is kind of like the culmination, I think, of like everything the Packers, have worked to improve on since that game. They've got another shot at the team that embarrassed them on national television, like 6 or 7 weeks ago. They've got another shot at it. And if I know anything about this team, it's that they are extremely close, they are extremely motivated, and they're going to, they're gonna come out and punch you in the mouth in some way, shape, or form. So I certainly don't expect this game to be a blowout like the previous one was. You could. Say the jet lag was the reason why or whatever, and that could very well be possible. But really, I just think that the team wasn't focused enough, and I think they might have gotten a little bit ahead of themselves after their really good start. And that game was just kind of like a back down to reality kind of shock to them. But they've responded extremely well, probably the best they could have, and they've won every single game since then. So that's really what kind of gives me hope about this team. It's like a lot of teams after a game like that might have kind of folded or continued to play bad or get down on their get really down and depressed and everything and just not play as well as they should the rest of the season. But the Packers, they've put together some really good performances. They went out and they won the division. They've won a playoff game. So their confidence right now is probably extremely high. And, they're licking their chops to get another chance at the 49ers, I'm sure. But when I look at this game, there's a few things the Packers really have to do if they want to have a chance to win it. And one of those things is the thing they've done all season long, and that's control the trenches and win the battle at the line of scrimmage. I mean, for all the analytics you can throw at people, really football comes down to which man is tougher at the line of scrimmage? Who are you going to move off the line? Who are you going to open holes for? I mean, it's honestly, it can be that simple, as cliche as it sounds. It can be that simple. Are you going to get pressure on the other quarterback, and are you going to protect your own quarterback? And that's the thing the Packers have done probably the best so far this year. I mean, they've protected Rodgers extremely well with a few outliers here and there, including the 49ers game, the last time the Packers lost. And then they've also gotten extreme pressure on other quarterbacks. I mean, they've got several, guys who probably should have been nominated for the All-Pro team or the Pro Bowl team, like Zadarius Smith, Kenny Clark, Preston Smith. I mean, these guys are extremely good pass rushers that really just don't get the kind of recognition that they should, and I think that's gone over a lot of people's heads. I mean, when you look at this game, it's like when you think of who has the better front four, it's a little bit closer than people think. I mean, the Packers have been extremely good. You could look at the individual awards and accolades that these two defensive units have won, and you'd say, oh, the 49ers clearly have the better unit. But, I mean, I would say it's pretty close to even. I mean, the Packers have done extremely well this season so far at getting pressure on the quarterback. They have like I said, I mean, Zadarius Smith is a game wrecker. He seriously is a game wrecker, and he has the most quarterback pressures in the NFL, and he was a serious snub for the Pro Bowl and the All-Pro team. But really, going back to what I said previously, the battle, I think this game is going to be one in the trenches, and if the Packers can protect Rodgers and get pressure on Garoppolo, they're going to have an extremely good chance at winning this game. And that leads me to kind of my second point here. Aaron Rodgers has got to do, he's got to take what the defense gives him. The Packers have a couple of weapons on offense. They have, I mean, it's not as talent devoid as a lot of people like to think it is. And if Rodgers can do, play within the offense and get what the defense takes, or take what the defense gives them, I should say, the Packers are going to have a chance to have some sustaining drives, that take some time off the clock. And I think that's going to be really key this time around, because the Packers lost a time of possession battle last time really, really badly, and their defense was on the field for the majority of the game, and they were, by the third, fourth quarter, they were extremely tired, and you could tell, and that's kind of why I kind of refer to that game kind of like as a snowball effect, like it kind of just collapsed on itself, like the Packers were just trying to hang on for dear life after their really poor start, and it just kind of all fell in, and it's really hard to look at that and say that's what this Packers team is compared to this 49ers team. I don't see it that way. I see it as just a game that the 49ers were able to take advantage of. The Packers, playing kind of lackadaisical and just not being focused enough and trying to hold on, but just getting too tired down the stretch. And, at that point, the game was already lost anyways, so whatever. But, I definitely think this game is going to be close, and or at least closer than it was last time for sure. But I would say the Packers have the quarterback advantage here. I think Rodgers is a better quarterback than Garoppolo. Rodgers is not going to make the killer mistake on you. Garoppolo might. I mean, Garoppolo has been efficient for the most part this season, but there have been times where he is just he's made some really, really bad decisions. And, if this game gets into a situation where it's the fourth quarter, the 49ers got a 3rd and long, and Garoppolo's got to sit in an empty set with the full force of the Packers pass rush coming at him, I would like the Packers' chances in that situation, So it just, to me, it's about the Packers getting to the point where they, where you believe they can win, and then, finishing it off from there. And I think the Packers can certainly do that. And like I said, I think they have the advantage if this game is close. Last week, I said that if the Packers have this game close and Wilson gets the ball one last time, I'm not going to like it. In this scenario, I might like that a little more. And the Packers got dangerously close to a scenario like that last weekend if Graham didn't get that first down, which if you still don't think that, then you can just go take a look at my previous video talking about that. But that's beside the point. I think, if this game gets into that 2-minute drill crunch time situation, I trust Rodgers over Garoppolo to get the job done. And I trust our defense against Garoppolo to be able to get off the field. So, really, though, I mean, like I said, I think it's going to be a really great game. I'm not going to really make any predictions here because, as you guys know, I don't like doing that because it feels like every time I do a video where I exclusively predicting and previewing the game or whatever, I feel like everything just backfires on me and we get blown out. I think the last time I did a preview or a prediction video of a game was the previous 49ers game we played and we got blown out. So I'm just going to keep it at that for now, but I will say I think the Packers have a good chance at winning, a better chance than a lot of people are giving them right now. But I'll say this, I'm extremely nervous. It's been a long time since I've wanted my team to win a game as much as this. I mean, this is it feels like it's for everything. And the Packers and, even the Badgers and the Bucks and the Brewers, they've all had, the games over the past decade or so where they've gotten just one more win to the big one, and they've all failed. You can go back to the NLCS twice for the Brewers. The Badgers had a few last-second Hail Mary losses, and they've lost in the Big Ten championship game several times, including a couple times with the playoff on the line. And you've got the Bucks, who lost in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and the Packers, of course, with their championship losses. So, this is the game. This is always the game where our team gets it. And I just I gotta see us get over that hump once. I just need to see it. I'm dying to see my team do that. But anyways, guys, so thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys tuning in this video. Hope you guys agree with a lot of what I said. If you don't, be sure to leave a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to discuss it with you. But in the meantime, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Go Packers.